Hey guys, it's Kurt from Wersi Club USA. Before we jump into the next topic, I thought I'd go back and address a couple of questions that Jeff had on the controllers and some of the parameters you can set on both internal and external sounds and how those are affected with presets, without presets, reloading the voice, that kind of a thing. Let's take a look. All right, so I'm thinking the best way to do this is go back to the preset where I got myself in trouble. And if you remember, I had noticed these two settings were unchecked. And I made some bad assumptions, and I was corrected, and that's exactly why we're here, to share and learn with each other. So Jeff asked some additional follow-up questions about how this all works. And he's trying to compare it with OAS. So for example, we're on strings 1 on the lower manual. So that is a factory sound, right? So let me go over here and uncheck these 4 boxes, okay? And let's just back out of this screen. And let's double check here by doing this. And you notice, sure enough, oops, that's my fat fingers. Sure enough, those boxes remained unchecked, okay? So now let's come in and go to sounds, and let's reload strings 1 again. Let's double click, and they're still off. So, as we all learned a few days ago, these settings of these check marks are not tied to the voice. They're tied to the preset. And of course, that's where I got in trouble, because I didn't realize I had a preset where I had some of these things turned off. So let me go ahead and turn those back on. And, well, that was a bad thing to do. Let me do this. Let me turn those back off for you. Let's back out of here. Let's go reload this preset, okay, which will, of course, put those settings back. So now let's click here. And notice they are all checked again. So that validates that all of these settings over here are affected with what is stored in the preset that is last used, active, depends on what word you want to use. But the preset that is currently selected, even if you didn't touch a preset, that's what these settings are going to be. While we're looking at I'm just going to say the check marks, in case you don't know, these little graphs here, if you click on those, you get a whole bunch of other choices. And notice there's yet another level of presets, which are effect presets, okay? So here's some different curve types, right, that you click on, and I'm not sitting at the organ, so I can't play it so you can hear the difference right now, but you know, go try it on your own, and you will see that, sure enough, these things all make quite a difference in the sound. And so, you know, you can pick, as you can see, standard organ, piano, all kinds of things, and how that works. And then if you click on user preset, you can load one of your own, and you see I saved one just to try it. Or you can go back to the different factory presets. So, you know, something interesting if you don't like what you hear. And same thing here, this is going to be for the expression, how that reacts. The volume sliders are on, and again, change those different settings. And I'd have to go back and refer to the manual, because as you can see, part of this is in German, so I can't tell you exactly what it means. But again, I did look, and they do explain if you have these boxes checked, how that affects either the keyboard, the voice, the preset, and how all those things interact. But nonetheless, you can have a good time messing around with some of these settings if you like. Let's stay on this factory sound, and let's take a look at one other thing. So let's double click it again. And now notice over on the right-hand side, some various sliders that you can adjust for reverb and chorus and panning and other things, right? And then down here at the bottom, it says from the sound. So this kind of gets into the discussion we've had a little bit about, can you make changes to a sound versus a preset? Kind of yes, kind of no. Depends on how you want to, again, interpret this. So you're going to notice, let's just pick panning. I'm going to pull the panning all the way down, and you're going to notice down here it's going to change. When I do that, it says, hey, the panning information for strings on the lower manual is coming from whatever I set this slider at, okay? Now, watch this. So let's back out, okay? Let's see here. Let's pick double click strings. Make sure, of course, it still stayed there. Correct. Okay. Because you notice there's not really a save button. Okay. So now let's save this preset. Okay. And let me see. Accompaniment photo. Yeah. Okay. I think we got everything we want checked. We're just going to put it right back on this one. Okay. So. I'm going to pick a different preset. Let's just pick this guy. And let's click on our lower sound and notice the panning is in the center. Okay. Let's go back to that preset we just modified, which was this guy. And let's click on this sound. And the panning is coming from the slider saved in the preset. Now, let's see what happens if we try and go reload strings, the sound strings, okay? So let's pick sounds, and let's pick strings 1, and load that. And now we're still on this preset. We haven't changed our preset, remember? Let's click this, and look at that. So when you load a factory sound, these settings, sure enough, are set in the sound, and they will reload in that sound, unlike the checkboxes over here. Now, we're going to actually come back in a separate video because there might be more steps than we want to show in this one. Let's just click on this user sound we created. And here you'll notice under Sound Controller, you've got the ability to create and modify these settings. And if I do this, hang on, edit. If I do this and I click uncheck, notice I have the option now to save, which we didn't see this option on a factory sound. So that's why I thought we'd come back and kind of look at this as a separate video, because it works a little bit different when you're modifying VST or external MIDI sounds. So we'll come back and shoot something tomorrow, day after, and share what we learned there. As always, thanks for watching.